My name is Ivana Cifuentes, and I'm the volunteer chapter leader for Organizing for Action in Orange County. And I appreciate all of you turning out this morning to recognize the lack of awareness and work being done towards protecting our climate and the environmental changes that are happening in our planet by Representative Dana Rohrabacher, who oversees here in this area, whose offices are right above the flag over there in the Ocean View Promenade building. So we want to acknowledge the fact that he has done very little to protect the beauty of the area that we live in, the oceans, the wetlands that are here. And so we're here this morning to hear from some very relevant speakers who understand the reality of climate change and that will give us some information that is useful for all of us who are concerned about our climate. I'm going to just before we hear our speakers, Saskia Young is going to give us a little bit of information about how you can tweet about this event and let all your friends know in social media that we were here this morning to acknowledge Representative Dana Rohrabacher.
Thank you so much, Ivana. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Give yourselves a huge round of applause for being here. This is great. This is a beautiful turnout, and this is a really important event. And so I just wanted to let you guys know one of the most important things that we can do is tweet at Congressman Rohrabacher today. And so when you're taking pictures and things like that during this event, if you could tweet at Action August, and our other tweet is hashtag Science Says So with capital S's across the board. So science, capital S, says, capital S, so, capital S. And so it would be really helpful if everybody tweeted at Congressman Rohrabacher today. We want to make sure that he hears from us to let him know that it is not okay to deny the science of climate change and that he needs to start taking action on this issue now. Mark, please take it away. Mark Gaffney.
Thank you, Mark.
Hi, my name is Mark Gaffney, and I'm here from the California League of Conservation Voters. Thanks for coming out this morning. The California League of Conservation Voters for the past 40 years has been helping to elect environmental champions, but also to hold all elected officials accountable for their votes on the environment, including climate votes, pollution votes, wilderness areas, and we're proud to work with all of you, and I am honored to be here to help present this award to Representative Rohrabacher. Representative Rohrabacher earned this Climate Deniers Award. Despite his longtime membership to the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology, Representative Rohrabacher is out of touch with reality. Climate change is happening. And while Representative Rohrabacher denies it, the scientific community reached consensus years ago. Climate change is happening. And yet only days ago, Representative Rohrabacher said that global warming is a total fraud. And before that, Representative Rohrabacher joked that climate change was caused by dinosaur flatulence.
Isn't that methane that comes out the back end, not carbon dioxide?
I'm not sure that's been measured. Nevertheless, it's out of touch with reality, and denying climate change exists and denying that it's a problem that we have something to do something about immediately is not okay from our elected officials. And it's something that we have to stand up and say, enough is enough. Denying climate change is not okay. So I am honored to help present this award, the Climate Deniers Award, to Representative Rohrabacher. Now I'd like to introduce Michael Winters. He's a K-12 educator and climate science solutions specialist, and he's the CEO of Water Solutions for Life.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today? As was said, I am a climate solutions specialist and a public educator. In 2012, our world had a milestone, and that milestone was 7 billion people on this planet. In 2010 and 11, I found myself in Pakistan doing flood relief and flood rehabilitation, and later working in a school with students on science. What I found during that period of time was something amazing. How important energy is to everyone on this planet. When we think about energy here in the United States, we think about it 24/7, 7 days a week, and just at the flip of any switch, we can automatically have that. But the rest of the world doesn't live in that situation. They're looking at energy to have light, energy to basically cook food, energy for some heating or some cooling using fans, and most of all for water purification. Some basic needs that we really don't think twice about. So 7 billion people are interested in energy, and a majority of that energy on our planet is created from either fossil-based fuels or a carbon-based source, which produces CO2, and there is no denying that energy is essential in every human's life, one way or another, and that a majority of that energy is based out of a fossil-based or carbon-based fuel producing CO2. But one of the most important things that I want to talk about today is shared values. Because if we're going to move this message forward, we have to find shared values. So bear with me a moment, because I want to talk about some shared values that Congressmember Rohrabacher does have. So first off, in 2007, he was one of 36 Republicans that actually supported H.R. 6, an alternative energy bill that passed through the House to move to $13 billion to $15 billion in tax incentives for renewable energy over a 5-year period of time. In 2009, Congressmember Rohrabacher also wrote a letter and signed that letter with other members of Congress to the Bureau of Land Management. And in that, he stated the common sense approach of developing clean and renewable energy that will lessen our dependencies on foreign oil, create jobs in our ailing economy, and protect our environment has unfortunately limped along at a painfully slow speed. And it's gone on far too long. Shared values. The US EPA Repowering America just recently reported that there are 60,000 brownfields in the United States of America. In 2008, they pursued implementation and have successfully implemented 70 solar and wind sites on brownfields in the United States for over 250 megawatts of solar. Shared values. What does that mean for you here in Orange County in the 43rd District? There are 6,000 acres of military property here in Orange County alone. If we were to take 10% of that 6,000 acres and use that 600 acres for solar, 1 acre of solar provides 1,100 kilowatt hours of electricity per day, which will actually operate 44 households locally right here in a microgrid in our own backyard. So in that 48th district, we can actually create clean energy security and reduce CO2 emissions, which is important to Congressmember Rohrabacher. He has said energy security is a passion of his. So we can provide for the people of the 48th District energy security, putting returning veterans and other community members to work in sustainable jobs. We can provide 240 megawatts of electricity on an annual basis, operating 26,000 houses on 600 acres of solar right here in Orange County. A natural gas-fired power plant, which is a fossil fuel, would create 385,000 megatons of CO2 in 1 year to power those 26,000 houses here in Orange County. So our share value today is moving forward from today into tomorrow. Congressmember Rohrabacher, I extend an olive branch to you today. I extend to you an olive branch today. Today I raise that olive branch to say, together let's pursue a secure America through energy security, environmental stewardship, reduction of CO2 through smart implementation of renewable energy, and create a sustainable workforce. Let's stop denying future generations the opportunity to enjoy all the amazing attributes that our planet has provided us in the past. And not only that, we can share the same values. We can share energy security and the reduction of CO2. Don't deny you, Congressmember Rohrabacher, that you want a secure America. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so, Congressman Rohrabacher, since he has decided that he's not going to come down or send his staffer down to accept the award. So I will pretend to be Congressman Rohrabacher. How you doing? I'm Congressman Rohrabacher.
Good morning. My name is Ivana Cifuentes
Nice
with
to see
Organizing
you.
for Action. This award is being presented to you because of the work you've done, and you know how much it's been, towards solving the issue of climate change and addressing the concerns of your constituents regarding the issues of climate change. It says, Congressional Climate Denier Award for exceptional extremism and ignoring the overwhelming judgment of science. Now, you can return this award. You can return it once you acknowledge that science is right and that climate change is real. Okay? And once you listen to your constituents and to the members that are saying climate change is real, it's affecting our lives every day, every year, more and more, and we need your support in addressing those issues.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
With respect to Congressman Rohrabacher's position on climate change, I've read he's a denier, but I've also read that he's been misconstrued. And I do understand that actions speak louder than words. And since he has made it a point to try and get legislation in position to make a difference in our lives for renewable energy, then I'm going to say that what serves a useful purpose is not to argue the subject of whether he denies climate change or acknowledges it. It's what he does in the future to bring up the legislation that makes a difference in all of our lives that has to do with renewable energy. In 2007, I took what little money I had and I bought a Prius. I bought a Prius on principle. Maybe it went from 15 miles a gallon on my Maxima to 45 miles a gallon on my Prius and saved me a few pennies. Those pennies were not made up in terms of all the thousands of dollars I spent on that car. But in terms of my morals and my ethics and my understanding of a contribution to my society, yes, it does make a difference when we come together and we sacrifice what it is that we have as resources to make a difference in one another's lives. Together it is our diversity that makes a difference, that we uplift one another and make a better world. We've seen together that we can make a difference. It's time to take that action. And I believe in Rohrabacher's position at this moment in time to make a difference in my life by turning around and creating legislation that asks for renewable energy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bill Valeka. I'm a member of Organizing for Action. We're here to call out Rohrabacher, Congressman Rohrabacher, for his denial of climate science. 99% of the Nobel laureates in this country, scientists, are in agreement with climate change. It's time for the climate deniers to get their heads out of the sand and start realizing and making change that the rest of their constituents believe in. The vast majority of Americans agree, and it's time for the climate deniers to get on board. Or we'll find out at the ballot box, because the rest of us, we're going to continue to pressure. And I would advise anybody watching this to get online, make a few clicks for the right direction. We need more advocacy. We need more people in our camp to put pressure on these congressmen who have their head in the sand. Organizing for Action, Natural Resource Defense Council. Thank you.